This is Inside Indiana Business, radio on demand for the morning of March 3rd, 2023. I'm Wes Mills. A landfill in Putnam County has already begun receiving shipments of contaminated soil from an Ohio train crash site, but Governor Eric Holcomb has now ordered his administration to contract with a third-party laboratory to conduct testing of the hazardous materials. The lab will begin testing for dangerous levels of dioxins in the loads headed to the landfill from East Palestine, Ohio. The landfill says it is certified to take that type of waste coming from the crash site. Pittsburgh-based U.S. Steel Corporation has signed a memorandum of understanding with Carbon Free Chemicals Holdings in Texas. The steelmaker says the non-binding agreement establishes a framework for pursuing the capture of CO2 emissions from the U.S. Steel's Gary Works. The MOU will set up discussions on a potential partnership. Rolls-Royce North America has begun testing of the F-130 engine that will eventually power the U.S. Air Force fleet of B-52s. The engines, as part of a $500 million contract, will be manufactured and assembled at facilities in Indy. The Air Force selected the aerospace company in September 2021 to develop and replace the existing jet engines with more than 600 new units. The testing is being conducted at a NASA facility in Mississippi. Each B-52 has 8 engines. Results of a new study released by the Indiana Destination Development Corporation show tourism continues to rebound following the COVID-19 pandemic. The study examined 2021 data, including the number of tourism visitors to the Hoosier State, the number of overnight stays, and per visitor spending. The study shows Indiana visitor volume grew 16% in 2021 to 77.3 million person trips. The number of people who stayed overnight for leisure travel grew by 36% compared to 2020. The IDDC says overall visitor spending grew by 28% to $13 billion in 2021. Still to come, the new chief for Regan Streif Institute will explain how medical data plays a role in access to healthcare. Details when Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand for Friday, March 3rd returns in 30 seconds.
Indiana business and community leaders, you're invited to a roadshow unlike any other. IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation are joining forces for the Engage Indiana series, presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank. A focus on talent, education, and issues that shape our economy. 7 regional events, 1 shared purpose, advancing the future of Indiana. Discover more at ibj.com/engage.
The incoming president and CEO of Indianapolis-based Regan Streif Institute says data plays a key role in developing solutions for health inequities across the U.S. Last month, the Indiana University School of Medicine announced it had selected Dr. Rachel Patzer to lead the world-renowned medical research organization. Patzer says she has spent a career finding innovative ways to collect and utilize data for solving complex health challenges, like access.
Access to healthcare is something that everyone really understands. There are challenges that we face, that many Hoosiers face in accessing healthcare. Even for people without economic constraints, it can be really difficult to make an appointment or get the healthcare we need in a timely manner. However, these problems related to access are magnified for minorities and individuals with lower income and those who live in rural areas.
Patzer begins May 1st. The team behind the Mid-States Corridor project in southern Indiana has unveiled 3 variations to a portion of its preferred route. The team says the changes were made in response to community feedback to the route that was announced last April. The Mid-States Corridor is a proposed highway designed to connect I-64 to I-69 through Spencer, Du Bois, and Martin counties. The original route generally runs parallel and west of US 231. On Wednesday, 3 additional variations were named. One runs through Lagodi, the other 2 run east of the city. A free public charter school in Sullivan County that has catered to a more rural population for more than 20 years will be closing its doors at the end of the school year. Our partners at WTWO report Rural Community Academy has notified staff and families that dwindling enrollment led to the decision. RCA Board President Susie Pierce said there's enough money for now, but no guarantees for next year.
We're fine this year, but looking at next year, there could be potentially problems, and we sure don't want to close in the middle of the school year at Christmas time.
When the school was created in 2003, it opened as Indiana's first rural charter school. I'm Wes Mills, Inside Indiana Business, Radio on Demand.